number 1 and conditional type 3 as well. Okay. Have you taken out the books? Okay, or take out your question. We are going to start from types of sentences or kind of sentences. I'm going to share the screen. You can see on the screen. You are supposed to take out this. Kinds of sentences. Hope you have taken out. Right. There are 3 kinds of sentences according to structure: simple sentences, compound sentences, and complex sentences. Though you have read it in detail in your class 7 and 8, but there is a quick review of all these type of sentences. Simple sentences. What are simple sentences? All main clauses can stand at simple sentences when the rest of the sentence is removed. Right? The main clause, the statement, that is your simple sentence. Right? I'm going to read the examples. Just pay attention on these examples. Most of us take life for granted. That's a simple sentence. This is a main clause that is known as simple sentence. Now look at next sentence. When we all are in a buoyant health, death is all but unimaginable, right? Now if you will pay attention, close attention on this, you will see that when we are in a buoyant health, right? This sentence, like the main sentence, death is all but unimaginable. Death is all but imaginable. Imaginable is the main clause. This is the simple sentence. If you remove the first clause, like it remain as it is, right? So this is simple sentence. Sometimes it goes as long as a year. Sometimes as short as 2 hours, right? In this you can also see, if you remove the second clause or the first clause, the main clause remain the same, right? So these are example of main simple sentences. If you look in your text, most of the sentences are simple sentences, right? I will explain it again in next slide as well. Compound sentences. Look at compound sentences. A compound sentence contains 2 or more main clauses. There are 2 main clauses, right? They are joined with conjunction like and, or but. Like night came on and the room grew dark, right? Night came on and the room grew dark. Both clauses are joined with and, right? And this is called compound sentence. You can see the next example. He is rich, but he is not happy. He is rich, he is not happy. Both sentences are joined with but, right? So this is called compound sentence. Look at the complex sentences. A complex sentence consists of 1 or more main clauses and 1 or more subordinate clauses. You have read it already, what is main clause and what is subordinate clause, what is dependent and what is independent clause. Main clause is independent clause, which is complete in itself, right? Whereas subordinate clause depends on the main clause to convey its full meaning. You can see from the examples, it is the same old story of not being grateful. It is the same old story of not being grateful. That is your main clause. For my screen is not visible. For what we have until we lose it. For what we have until we lose it is subordinate clause. If you separate both the clauses, the first clause, which is main clause, it conveys full meaning. Like it is the same old story of not being grateful. So it is main clause. But if you see the other clause, not what we have until we lose it, right? So with the main clause, it is giving the meaning. But if you make it separate, So it is not a complete sentence. So it is known as subordinate clause. So those sentences which are having one or more main clauses or one or more subordinate clauses, they are known as complex sentences. You can see the other example as well, that is from the text. If I were the president of university, that is subordinate clause. So what happened? This is not complete. I would set up a course called How to Use Your Eyes. That is main clause. So quickly, I'm going to revise simple sentences or main clauses, simple clauses, right? Compound clauses, two main clauses or two sentences joined by and, or, but, right? With some conjunction. Complex sentences are those sentences which are having main clause as well as subordinate clause, right? And they are known as complex clause. Okay, you can see. If still it is not clear, you can see from the screen. Okay. A simple sentence has a subject and object, sometimes an object or complement, right? Simple sentence is it will be having a subject and a verb, right? Or a subject and a predicate. Predicate means verb plus complement, right? You can see she smiled. She smiled. She is a subject and smiled is a verb. So simplest sentence. That is your simple sentence. She looks pretty. Okay. Subject, verb plus object or complement, right? So subject and predicate. They make simple sentence. Hope it is clear. Give me thumbs up if it is clear. Simple sentence. I'm going to revise simple sentences again. Is it clear? Okay, good. Next, a compound sentence. What is a compound sentence? A compound sentence has, okay, there is a message, let me do. Okay, compound sentence has two or more simple sentences joined together usually by a comma or some conjunction, right? You can see from the example, I'll make it clear from the example. She smiled and she laughed. There are two sentences, very simple sentences. They are joined by and, right? Some coordinating conjunction and. She smiled and she laughed. She smiled and she laughed. Both are joined with and. So it is called compound sentence, right? I was side by side. I'm reading the messages. Okay. You can see from the slide as well. One more example. Three, the great tragic artists of the world are four, and three of from the literature I have taken an example, right? And this is called compound sentence. Compound sentence, sometimes they also have got a comma, and after comma there is and or but, right? As you can see in your textbook, they have given two examples of the compound sentence. In the second example, it is written, he is rich, comma, yet he is not happy. Why? Yet rich. So simplest form that we need to learn is that compound sentences are those sentences which are joined with some coordinate conjunction and or but, right? Are you listening me? Okay. I'm going to share the screen. There was some problem. Okay, it's settled now. The complex sentences, you can see, if there is a magic on this planet, it is contained in water. The main sentence is it is contained in water, right? But there is subordinate clause attached with it if there is magic on this planet. Like you have read in conditional type 1, conditional type 2, and conditional type 3, right? In conditional sentences, the conditional clauses which are started with if, right? They were subordinate clauses, whereas the rest of the sentence was main clause, or you can say dependent clause, right? This sort of sentences comes under complex sentences. Okay, I'm going to read example from there. She smiles when she is happy, right? She smiles is your independent clause. When she is happy is your sorry, it is independent clause. When she is happy is your dependent clause, because if you separate both the sentences, she smiles is complete sentence, but when she is happy, then what? This is not a complete sentence. It required or it needs some independent clause to give its meaning. Okay, quickly going to review all these three type of sentences. You can see simple sentence. What is a simple sentence? It has a subject and a verb, or sometimes it has a subject and a predicate only. Like you can say she smiled, right? She smiled. That is your simple sentence. Or she looks pretty. Look next, compound sentences. Compound sentences has two or more simple sentences joined together. Like two simple sentences when joined together, sometimes with a comma and or some coordinator or some conjunction, they are known as compound sentence. As you can see here, there is an example. She smiled and she laughed, right? She smiled. We have taken the same simple sentence and I joined another sentence with that. She laughed with and. So it becomes compound sentence, right? Look at next, complex sentence. Complex sentence, what are complex sentence? Which are having a main clause or independent clause and a subordinate clause,
Excuse me,
right?
teacher.
Yes.
Excuse me, teacher. Teacher, this sentence that is written right in front of us, she smiles when she is happy. We can say this sentence like the compound sentence. It is also the compound sentence because it is a collection of two simple sentences.
Better, but they are joined. Now just see if simple sentences are joined with some conjunction like and or but, right? They become compound sentences. But I have given you complex sentences example when they have got some independent clause, right? And then dependent clause, right? Two
Yes, teacher.
clauses. They are known as complex sentences. Okay, you can see from your book as well, or you can see on the screen right down. There is a big example you can see from there. If there is a magic on this planet, right?
No, teacher, I'm
This
talking
is a
about this
sentence,
sentence.
but
She
it is not a
smiles when
complete
she is.
sentence. This is
Okay.
when she is unhappy is subordinate clause, right? That's why,
Yes.
like, it is not joint. This is not joint. There is no and, there is no or, right? When she is happy is not independent sentence. I got your point, right? You're saying that compound sentence is a two simple sentences joined with some coordinator, right? And or but here she smiles when she's happy. She smile is independent sentence. It is giving full meaning. When she's happy, it is not independent clause, right? It is dependent clause. Got the point? So she smiles when she is happy. This is having two clauses. One is complete or main clause, and another is dependent clause. So that's why it is complex sentence. Whereas you can see compound sentence, she smiled and she laughed. She smiled and she laughed. Both are simple sentences, but they're joined together with and. So this is compound sentence. If you take only she smiled or she laughed, these are simple sentences. Right? We are going to do next. Hope it is
Yes,
clear.
teacher. Thank you, teacher.
first do this simple. Okay, beta, jump to your exercise number E first, right? Because it is related with that. Otherwise, if you'll do the previous exercises, then there will be a gap, right? Are you with me? Have you taken out your exercise number E, right? The question is identify and write the simple, compound, and complex sentences in given in the columns. Okay, have you taken out this question? If you have taken, give me thumbs up so that I will start this. Yes, if you have taken out. Okay, fine, you have taken out. Achha, but a quick way is that give me thumbs up when I'll say okay, taken out. Instead of like writing on the chat box, and then I have to go to the chat box and open it, right? Better to give me thumb up. I can see okay, you have taken out. Then quickly I can start, right? Now keep on telling me what is this. He came to see me, but I was not present at home. This is compound sentence, right? How it is compound sentence? Because it is joined by but. If you see, look at the sentences, okay. Uh, he came to see me. I was not present at home. Both are simple sentences. These simple sentences are joined with but, right? So it is known as compound sentence. And I told you compound sentence are most of the time joined with comma and some conjunction here. Okay. She wrote an article in the newspaper. That is simple sentence, main clause only. Next, we shall die one day or the other, for we are immortal. Now look, there are two sentences. We shall die one day, and the second is the we are immortal. Both are joined with or, right? So it is, hello, hello. If you are listening me, then please give me thumb up. My internet was having bit trouble. Good. Right, I read from the book. They, we all die, that is compound sentence. To finish the work in time, simple sentence, okay. My mother always pray for my success. Simple sentence, right? Only main one clause is there, that is main clause. Next, देखिए, they serve God well who serve his creatures. Right now, look, there are two clauses. One is they serve God, which is main clause, whereas next is who serve his creatures. Who serve his creatures is independent clause. So it is having two clauses, main clause and subordinate clause. So it is complex sentence. Good. Next, I called him, but he gave me no answer. This is compound sentence. Very good, because it is joined with and. Both are simple sentences, right? I called him, he gave me a no answer, and it is joined with but. A guest who stays a long time is not welcome, right? A guest, yes, better just a minute, let me finish these two sentences, then I'll come to you. A guest is not welcomed, right? A guest is not welcome is a main sentence, whereas there is inserted a subordinate clause who stays a long time. So it is known as which sentence? Complex. Right? Next, I soon returned home because I was upset. Now, I soon returned home is your main clause. Because I was upset is subordinate clause, so it is complex sentence. Okay, but just a minute. Yes, Zaru.
यस टीचर मेरी बुक
The
में भी है.
burning. अच्छा बेटा, अगर ये भी है तो this is simple sentence. The boy stood on the burning deck, right? Because I'm having that new version, like might be it will be last year's book. Now you will be having there's little few sentences are changed, but it's okay. This is simple sentence, right? Can you write it in the chat box so I can see? Okay, better write this sentence in the chat box so that if other students are having this sentence, they can also see. Yes, Jaruk, are you writing? Ilhan, immortal mean like who's going to die? Like man is immortal who is not going to die. Man is mortal, like it is going to be finished one day. Yes. The boy stood on the burning deck, right? This is simple sentence. This is a single clause, main clause, right? And so it will be a simple sentence. Okay, thank you. Any other question regarding simple, compound, and complex sentences? I think it is clear because you have read in more detail in your previous classes than today. But even though I try to recall all your previous knowledge as well. Yes. If you have got another question. Okay, someone is asking immortal mean. Beta, immortal is very simple. Mortal होता है जिसने फना हो जाना, तबाह हो जाना, खत्म हो जाना. Immortal, that is not going to be finished, right? Forever. एक बड़ी मशहूर phrase है ना कि man is a mortal being. Pass की हुई थी. Fine. Right. Okay. Now simple sentences, they are clear to you. That's really good. Look at the next and next now. Next question is, match the halves to make complete sentence. There are two halves, right, of the same sentence. You have to complete it, right? They all are conditional sentences. If you had not drunk water from that well, okay, just keep on guessing what will come. If you had not drunk water from that well, right? Quickly just mark in your book what will come next. You wouldn't have fallen in. Okay, fine. Right. Next sentence is, if you ate sweets all the time, then what will happen? Okay, your teeth would go back. Right. Number 3. If you don't use a mosquito net, then what happen? Yes. You may catch malaria. Okay, very good. You don't keep food in the fridge. If you don't keep food in the fridge, then what happen?
Hello.
It will go bad in hot weather. Very good. Okay, next. If you cycle with things in your hand, what happen? You may fall off. Very good. Next, if you wave the stick in the air, then what happen? You might hit somebody's head. Okay, very good. Okay, beta, now look at the slide. There are answers and try to match. It's very simple, very easy question. If you had not drunk water from that well, you wouldn't have fallen in. If you ate sweets all the time, your teeth would go bad. If you don't use a mosquito net, you may catch malaria. If you don't keep food in the fridge, you will go bad in hot weather. If you cycle with things in your hand, you may fall off. If you wave the stick in the air, you might hit somebody's head. Okay, they were sentences and I think all have done well, very good. Okay, next is compound, simple, compound, and complex sentences that we have already done. Okay, next question is hyphens and dashes, right? Where do we use hyphen and where do we use dashes? Right, hyphens. The purpose of using hyphens is to connect two relevant words or more in order to show that they are single entry, right? Like compound sentences, we use hyphens to show that they are giving the same meaning, they are connected sentence words. What is dash? A dash can be used to indicate an interruption or emphasis in a sentence. When there are long sentences and you just want to add some like some interruption or emphasize some idea, right, that you can add with dash. It is just like brackets, like in if we want to add some additional information, we can add in the brackets. Similarly, like we can add dashes. Furthermore, it's used to connect numbers and to extend sentences, right? But you can see here I have also like just try to tell you simply where you when you're supposed to use hyphens. Number one, compound adjectives. You know, compound adjectives, free range acts, free range, it is having hyphen, right, between free and range. An off campus apartment, right, these are adjective. Eggs, apartment and design are nouns, and before that there are adjective you can see as well. Free range and off campus, state of the art, right, they are used. We use hyphens in compound adjectives like this. Next is compound nouns. Compound nouns like do it yourself, sister-in-law, forget me nots, right, these sort of words, they also have hyphen. And we also use hyphen between prefixes as well, like reenact, cooperate, anti-fascists, whatever. Next, now someone will ask what is anti-fascists. Anti-fascists is a movement in which like the government is a sort of dictator. When to use dashes, where we have to use dashes, right, in your text you have to concentrate on extending sentences, right? But you can see also when we mention times and dates, like the project will be delivered January to June, so instead of writing to, right, we use dash, we can write dash. I will visit 13 January to 24th January, right? When we use times and dates, instead of writing to, we can also put dash. I will visit 0800 to 0900, मतलब 8 से 9 बजे तक मैं visit करूँगा, right? This will also carry a dash. Next is compound adjectives with equal parts. If you have got compound adjectives and they are equal, right, then also use dashes. Like the India-Pakistani issue, the NATO Warsaw Pact agreement, right? Next, extended sentences, and you have to pay attention on this point because in your syllabus you're going to put dashes on these sentences, extended sentences. She demanded just one thing from her students, effort, right? You just want to put emphasize, you want to emphasize effort. So for that effort, like you just put some stress, you have to put dash before that. Next, she demanded efforts from her students. That's all she ever asked for. That's all she ever asked for is an extra information, right? Extended sentence. So it is written by a dash. Right? Now you can see example from your text as well. They haven't given the example, they just directly gave you the question that identify hyphens and dashes in the following sentences and mark in the relevant box, right? We are going to do orally first and then I'll show you the answer and hope it will be clear. The injured woman is 35 years old. Now 35 here, 35 is compound adjective, so it is hyphen or dash?
Hyphen.
Hyphen, very good. You are the friend, the only friend who offered to help me. You are the friend, the only friend who offered to help me. The only friend, this is the additional information that he has just put in the sentences, right? So it is dash or hyphen? Dash, good. This is very important. Are you listening to me? The sentences, this is very important. Now, extra information is, are you listening to me? So it is dash, good. Samina ate 3/4 of large size pizza. 3/4. It is adjective. Oh, sorry, compound adjective. So it is heavy. Very good hyphens. Now good. Mr. Aziz is a well-known person in town, right? Well-known is a compound adjective, so it will be
Hyphen.
hyphen. Good. We went to USA and met a very old friend there. And the sentence was we went to USA. So he added some information in that. So he has, it will be dash or hyphen, and met a very old friend there. Is dash, good. My neighbor wanted us, my daughter, my son, and me to meet her guest. Right? Actually, the sentence is my neighbors wanted me to meet her guest, right? The information that he added in the sentence is my daughter, my son, and me. So it will be dash. Very good. My great grandfather owned a big house in his hometown. Great grandfather, it is hyphen. Very good. I think it is very much clear to you. Most of the students' answers are correct. Very good. Right. I'll show you the answer. Now you can tally with your own answers. I'll try to read your responses, but not all. I separated the hyphen sentences with hyphens and sentences with dashes. You can read. The injured woman is a 35-year old. Mr. Aziz is a well-known person in the town. My great-grandfather owned a big house in this town. Samina ate 3/4 of a large-size pizza. Right? All these four sentences are having hyphen because they are compound sentences. Okay, next, taking dashes. Dashes will come in these sentences where you want to give extra information or you are going to add some uh, like idea in between the sentences. Okay, it is clear to you all. If it is clear, give me thumbs up. If you have got any question, you can tell me so that I can answer it. It is clear. If it is clear, give me thumbs up. Okay, beta, very good. Now, tomorrow we are going to start our new lesson that was